And talking of Port Harcourt and having a kind of a reread of your story, it is impossible as a Nigerian not to remember another name in Port Harcourt. This time I'm talking of Ken Saro-Wiwa. Also
Mm.
because you did make mention of course, we are going to talk about that, investigative journalism and journalism as it were. So when you were in Port Harcourt, did you by chance have a kind of anyway, I didn't ask you the time because Ken Saro-Wiwa will be killed on the 10th of November 1995. I don't
Correct. He
know
was
if
already
that was
gone.
it. Okay,
No, he
it
was
was
already
already
gone.
gone then.
Yes.
Okay, because you also made mention of environmental something. Is there any
Yes.
way that what did you learn about Ken Saro-Wiwa because you were in Port Harcourt anyway? So tell me about that.
So Ken Saro-Wiwa's death, to a very large extent, spurred my decision, as a matter of fact, to see how I can save the Niger Delta from the oil spillage. That's the truth. So, and when I saw what happened to the Ogoni land, I was disturbed that the federal government can be that insensitive. I'm also disturbed that even to some extent, the community leaders may have been complicit in the way things have turned out. Not to mention the fact that the oil companies, the multinationals themselves, were not holding themselves to a higher standard of operations. But then again, you look at the joint Nigerian venture with the oil company, the NNPC, as well as the oil multinational. There's a joint venture they have. The sharing formula, the definition of the responsibilities that each of these persons play, their roles and expectations to the communities.
We believe that everyone has a story to share. We believe in the power of storytelling in today's digital economy. Yes, we believe that our audience need to be touched at the level of emotion so we can better engage. What about you? Do you believe in storytelling as much as we do? Do you want to reach the hearts and minds of your audience? Then join us in our online training class, Storytelling for Content Creators and Digital Entrepreneurs. Come to obehiair1food.com/storytelling and learn how to leverage your storytelling skills so you can earn more as a content creator and digital entrepreneur. Storytelling is a powerful instrument at our disposal. Let's explore it together. See you in the class.
Clearly defined. In fact, if you look at the agreement in the setting up of that venture, it became clear that the oil multinationals do not owe the communities, that is the host communities, any of those social responsibility agenda. Don't. So how did the federal government sign such a venture agreement to that point still beats my imagination, which has finally led to what we have today as the PI bill, the Petroleum Industry Bill, that became an act last year in 2020. That was because the host communities were not regarded. Whereas the best practice, even overseas for multinationals, as we all know, is that you actually make an impact in communities. Where opportunities for community development was supposed to be ensured, we've also seen where the community leaders in the hierarchy of the royal fathers, the chiefs, and all of those other important personages had a sharing formula where monies are given to them rather than develop the community. And I'm not just talking about the Ogoni land now. I'm talking about the general Niger Delta crisis with regards to the crude. You see where some of these top personages who are supposed to make impact and defend their communities take these monies, they clean their mouth, like we say in Nigeria, and pretend as if money's never got into their hand to help develop their communities. So even if the oil multinationals in some instances couldn't build schools, these were provided to build the schools and given to the community heads. What happened? It became share the money. It wasn't about let's develop our land. So in the end, the oil spillages in the Niger Delta was a crisis of the cry for help, that there is been a lot of sabotage within and amongst everyone involved in ensuring that the spillages, the pollution, the gas flaring that we constantly see even till date that ought to have been stopped if there was a political will for the federal government and even the state governors, it's still what it is today, despite how many years and fight that has gone into this. Even with the recent judgment from the court that the Ogoni land should be cleaned up, nothing has been done to date with the speed it deserved to be given.
And that is quite sad. That is the situation of Nigeria. And looking at what is happening in the country, of course, not only in Nigeria, probably maybe, I don't know whether to say whether it is worse in Nigeria, or maybe we are not yet got into the darkest part of our history, in that the people are not regarded. These multinationals are very powerful. They are extremely powerful. We can see what they do in other parts of the world. But who is going to hold them accountable in the country, in Nigeria, if the Nigerian government become fully complicit, become fully in collaboration of their criminal enterprise? Who is going to defend the local people? Have anyone Okay, please go.
I don't think it's about who is going to defend the people. The multinationals are actually only as powerful as any government in any country gives them the permission to be. In countries where corruption are the highest, that's where you see multinational oil companies abuse at its peak. In a country where there are kickbacks being given, see what I just said earlier. Imagine monies are given to your communities to develop it. As a chief in your community, or a royal father in your community, or a head of something in your community as a head or a representative, even at the state assemblies, the national assemblies, you see representatives of these persons who are given money to be silent about the abuses that go on. So in the end, it comes back to the people in terms of how we've politically engaged governance. It's why I've always been an advocate. I'm actually the pioneer of civic intelligence in Nigeria. And I've been an advocate of civic engagement and civic intelligence in Nigeria simply because I understand that it is the citizens who will make the government sit up. Once the citizens understand that the government they put in place or are put in place through electoral processes, that is because the citizens nominated them to be there via votes. And if that is the case, then it means that they cannot allow them go unpunished as it is. For a long time, Nigerians have been very apathetic toward governance. They have been disconnected from governance. They did not understand the power they have and their role in ensuring that things are done the proper way. Many years, Nigerians did not vote. And so the thoughts and those with thought mentality came into the governance space, majority of them that is. And what has happened? They've hijacked the process and then they bastardized the process. So that due process, which used to be a way of life in Nigeria, is no longer what it is. So we've had a situation where there's been no political will, and the lack of it is simply because people also are complicit. So what you have in totality are, one, a citizenry that does not understand their power, a citizenry that will not use their power, a citizenry that has high tolerance for suffering, a citizenry who will use religion, tradition, and culture to excuse evil even in their midst. Now, when the citizenry are like that, they develop a culture where those in positions of higher responsibility can actually be excused from doing what they should do. It's happening in Nigeria now, which is a good thing. We're beginning to see a rise in civic consciousness, a rise in civic engagement, a rise in interest in the politics of governance by the citizen, which means they are saying that through our votes now, we're going to select the individuals, not the parties who will come and save Nigeria, who work together with, and we will all be held accountable to save Nigeria. I continue at this moment, I can guarantee you that all of this conversation about who will save the country will happen because the people are now interested to save both themselves and the country, Nigeria.